To discuss all things immigration, let's bring in Tom Borelli, contributor at the Conservative Review, and Chip Franklin, publisher of Inside the Beltway and host of the Chip Franklin Show on KGO Radio in San Francisco. Chip, do you have any idea what the president means by chain immigration?
Yeah, I do. And the key component to that people seem to forget is the word sponsor. So if somebody came here or a dreamer was allowed to stay here, they could sponsor relatives. It doesn't mean they walk right in. There's still a vetting process that goes through this whole thing. This is, you're talking about 800,000 people who have no criminal record, 91% employed. I can see why we want to throw those guys out. So no, chain migration is something that Hannity and others have been bringing up, saying like, it's going to mean 30 million people here. It's just, the vitriol is just unbelievable. So no, there's really no danger from chain migration because you're talking about good people here who would sponsor other good people to come, and we would vet them. I don't really see the pushback.
Tom?
Well, like in any population, there are good people and the bad people. Let's go a little basic statistics, right? Bell curve. There's not 800,000 good people anywhere. There's a range of people.
No,
so let's let
you're
that
wrong.
out.
These 800,000 people. Wait. These 800,000 people, these dreamers here, none have a criminal record. No criminal records. 800,000 people. You show me a Trump rally with that many people and no criminal records.
And some of them have been MS-13 members. Let's put that aside.
But come on, please.
Right. Come on. The real issue is chain.
How many are MS-13? If you're going to throw that out, tell me how many. You don't know.
The issue. Will you let me speak, sir? Thank you.
Go.
The issue with chain migration is the 800,000, if they were have amnesty and become legal, they can bring in 4 to 6 million people. To give you some perspective on that, Chip, is that 3.5 million people live in Connecticut. Our country cannot afford this type of mass legal
But I think
migration.
Chip's point, it's not as if they can just walk across the border because they have a relative here. They still have to wait in line and go through the normal vetting
but
process.
that's still huge numbers of people. And remember, President Trump has to remember, he ran on an America First agenda, where the American people who are here, who have been here legally, whether they legally migrated or long-term American citizens, have to come first. If you came in the back door, you go to the very back end of the line.
So, Chip, how about a compromise? Say, for argument's sake, an agreement was reached that those 800,000 dreamers, they can stay, they can have a pathway to citizenship, but they cannot sponsor other people to come in. Would that be something that would be palatable to Democrats?
Well, the real question is, and I'm not a Democrat, but I mean, the real question is, why would we want to stop good people from bringing other good people in through a vetting process? Why would we want to see that? I mean, the truth is, with apologies to Native Americans, we're all immigrants. We all come from someplace else. This is how this country was built and will continue to grow. And, despite Trump's call for the wall, which he calls a beautiful wall. I don't understand why. Is he trying to seduce me with this wall? It's beautiful. I got to say this, that when you look forward, this country's growth, everything we have to offer in the future is going to be built on people coming here. It's always been that way. It's not going to happen internally. So this is something that to ignore. 800,000 good people, again, with no criminal record, 91% employed or in school. These are the future. And to ignore that and to say they can't bring anybody else in, I don't know why you would do that. I really don't.
Just so I understand the point, Tom, is the idea that you or I, I've got relatives in Lithuania and Latvia and all over the world, that because I've been an American citizen and haven't had my sort of status as a dreamer, that my relatives overseas should be in front of the line ahead of the dreamers' relatives overseas? Is that where the Republican position is?
I'm not sure exactly what the Republican position is, but I think in any situation there's a priority. And I think one thing we all should look at, maybe Chip can agree to this, look at this, is the RAISE Act that has been introduced in the Senate that goes to limit immigration, those people who are actually going to contribute to society, and limit those numbers. One of the problems with this chain migration is you can bring in relatives and they could be low-skilled workers.
Well,
we want good people.
I guess my question, though, is chain migration could apply to any American, right? Any group, ethnic group, people from Poland, Italy, whatever. We could all bring in 5 million people if we wanted to. The question is what is the priority and what do people have to go through the normal process?
Can I say the politics of chain migration, what it really is they realize now that they can't rescind DACA. We're going to get pictures of like Elian Gonzalez with people coming with guns, taking dreamers home.
It hasn't happened.
And it's not going to happen. You're right. It's not going to happen because I know, because the politics of it are too severe. Hold on. I'm just saying. So what this is, chain migration is a political win. It's reaching for some sort of political win here from the administration. I get that. And actually, the truth is, I'm glad they're talking about that and not sending 800,000 people back.
Tom, how much concern is there that this now rewards illegal acts. You have all of the people, such as myself, that went through the process officially, doing it the right way, taking the time, paying the money. How much concern is there that this blanket amnesty basically rewards people that break the law?
Well, it does, to your point. It really punishes people who do it. No, they're adults. Come on,
they're
David.
adults now, but they were brought here. They were brought here. They were brought here. Let me finish. They were brought here as children. Are we going to hold them responsible for the acts of their parents?
I think a person who migrated here legally or a person who was born here should have priority over someone who came in the back door, whatever age. As I mentioned the last time I was here, the CEO, Tim Cook of Apple, said he has 200 dreamers. Well, again, there are 200 more of Americans who love to have those jobs in Apple. And I can't see...
And that's perfectly fair and a valid point. I just don't think we ought to be suggesting that when somebody comes here because their parents come here, that the children are therefore breaking the law.
You know, in 2014, Hillary Clinton said she would deport...
She did.
She said that. So I'm with Hillary Clinton, maybe not as... Right.
Chip, maybe you can give me some color on this. What happens going forward? So we give these 800,000 kids a break because it wasn't their fault. They came in, their parents were illegal, it wasn't their fault. What happens to the next set of kids that are brought in here illegally by their parents? Do they get amnesty as well? Do they also get citizenship?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, Chip, I'm talking to you,
I'm sorry,
sir.
I didn't hear you say my name. Well, I just want to note that was a record. We went 2.5 minutes without him bringing up Hillary Clinton. I'll just say this about where I'm sitting. Where I'm sitting here in San Francisco right now, my grandfather was here. When my grandfather sat right where I'm sitting now, he was an illegal alien because this was Mexico. You want to talk about, then that's historical perspective. That wasn't in our deep, deep history. This is a second time you want to send Mexicans back, the first time with its guns, and this time apparently with guns as well. You have to understand, immigration is not a four-letter word. It is the hope for the United States. You have to get over the xenophobia. You have to get over the prejudice.
Stop with the xenophobia stuff. What we want is highly qualified people come to the United States the right way, not the back door, not low-skilled people who harm.
They're here. 800,000 people are here.
Right. So, and then that's an issue that needs to be dealt with. Some of them aren't. I guarantee you. You're going to tell me on national TV 800,000 are all good people.
Well, in order to get their status reviewed every 2 years, they can't have broken the law. But in any case, Tom Borelli and Chip Franklin, thank you both for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. Good to see you again.